Hi guys, back with another battle report. Do apologise for the background sound. We're in the middle of the practice games at the No Retreat tournament. So I'm going to have a bit of a practice game with my Tyranids. So I thought we'd give you a spin out and see exactly how this army plays. So really fortunate today, I'm getting to play a good buddy of mine, Mark, with his awesome Knights. So looking really cool, and this should be a pretty interesting game. Knights are no longer the force they were in 7th, but they still pack quite a nasty punch. Mark's got them built up with some assassins in there for a little bit of cheesy goodness, but not overcooking it. And I've got a nice fluffy kind of take all comers Tyranid list, so it should be an interesting game. We are playing the modified Maelstrom missions by the SM Battle Reports. You can check them out on their website, but it is Deadlock as the Maelstrom mission and Retrieval as the primary. But do check out the mission format at the SM Battle Reports page. But we'll jump in now and have a look at the armies. Right guys, so first of all let's take a look at this incredible Knight army. So Mark, do you want to run through what you got?
So this is my Warlord, Inquisitor Greyfax. She's there just to give me a little bit of anti-psychic support if I need it. I'm running 4 Assassins with her. I've got 2 Eversaws, a Calidus and a Vindicator. These 2 are popping characters, these 2 for taking out small units.
Yeah. So no anti-psycho one, just these are all.
No, I don't. I think that with Greyfax and with the Vindicator, I can take psychers out if I need to.
And on to the big guys.
The big guys. So I have a Knight Paladin here. He's got the Storm Spear Rocket Pod, a Battle Cannon, and a Reaper Chainsword.
Sweet. Looking awesome.
I have a Crusader here in the middle, Avenger, Gatling Cannon, Battle Cannon, Storm Spear Rocket Pod, and a Warden at the end with a Gatling Cannon, Reaper Sword, and Storm Spear Rocket Pod.
Perfect, cheers. So awesome looking army. As I said, it does pack quite a punch, but very elite. It's going to definitely come under some heavy fire from some lists, but against this Tyranid list it should be quite a good matchup. So we'll jump in and take a look at the Nids. So the Tyranid force is headed up by the Swarmlord. He's actually not my Warlord, but of course he is an intimidating presence on the board. He will be in reserve. He is in his Tyrannocyte. We have 2 Trigons. One is a Trigon Prime, and both of them will be bringing in a unit of Gene Stealers. We have a 16-man unit of Gene Stealers and a 15-man unit of Gene Stealers. As we pan over all these other gorgeous armies, we'll have a look at what else we've got. So we've got a Broodlord. Broodlord is with a unit of the Little Rippers, and we have a unit of 4 Hive Guard. I think these guys are really good, slightly underrated in my opinion, but we'll see how they get on. And then we have another unit of Rippers, we have a Malanthrope, and we have a Exocrine. So the list consists of a battalion, which gives me my 3 command points from that, and I have a spearhead detachment as well, which is all the heavy hitters, and that'll give me an extra 1. So I'm rocking with a grand total of 7 command points. So pretty good, not too bad at all. We'll have a quick look at deployment. So I've deployed mine, obviously countering each other. We've got one little hidden hole here behind this barrel. I've got a little bit of line of sight, and I'm near the objective. I've got the Rippers again outside here. Malanthrope behind, obviously as a character, even though he does have some assassins that will definitely cause him trouble. And we have the Exocrine over there. Mark's countered with pretty much a straight line of Knights as standard Knight deployment, making sure he's covering his bases, good line of sight down the channels. We'll definitely put out some fire first turn. He's got 4 assassins that are in reserve, as we said, and the Greyfax is sitting down there hiding behind the pipes. So as it stands, Mark does have a +1 because he deployed first, but we will still roll off. We are playing that format, so we'll see now with +1 who is going to go first. So 3 and 3, Mark will get it because he has the +1. So he will get the choice. Mark, are you going to go first? I'm guessing. Yeah. Well, that might be the case. So we'll come back in a second and see whether I can seize the initiative. Right, guys. As it stands, Mark has given himself first turn, which is obviously the right move. He's got a pre-alpha strike style list. So I'm going to try and seize the initiative. Here we go. No, I am going to use a command point. Come on, we need this. No, very close, but it will be turn 1 for the Knights and the Assassins. So an unsurprisingly quick movement from the Knights and from the Assassins. So we have one of the assassins that's come down here. She can deploy a lot closer. She's actually only 5 inches away from the Rippers. We have the Vindicator who's down there as well. He's got line of sight over a majority onto these guys. The Eversar is down here in the middle, and the other Eversor is there. And the reason for that is basically due to Mark's objectives. So, amongst other things, he's got defend objective 1, which is a mine. Advance, basically get everything out of his deployment zone. Master of the Warp, which is standard. He has got a Psyker, so that's fine. But Domination is the big one that he's decided to make a quick play for. He also has objective 5 and objective 6, which he does also have in his deployment zone. So pretty good going there for first cards. But by doing quite this aggressive style of deployment, he will actually get Domination if he wants to, which is pretty good going. So he's camping on all those objectives. So we're going to see what happens now. We're going to go into the shooting, and the Knights are going to start to unload on this Tyranid force. Wish me luck, guys, because this could be brutal. So, end of shooting, and funny enough, I actually got off massively lightly, so everything pretty much went into the Exocrine, but I only lost a few wounds. I'm only down to 9, so how the hell I got away with that, I don't know. So bad rice rolling, and a combination of that and the Malanthrope has kind of helped me out quite a lot there. There was some shooting that went into the Malanthrope as well, but fails, and this guy shot into the Hive Guard, taking 1 wound. So pretty underwhelming from Mark, but he now potentially will have some charges. We'll see what happens as we go on to the charge phase. So end of the assault phase, not too bad from the assassin, could have done better, took out 1 of the Hive Guard, did nothing in return, but again pretty much to be expected. And that's pretty much the end of the turn. So Mark does score Domination, which is pretty cool. Didn't manage to get a first strike, but has started to do a little bit of work. So we'll see what happens now. I've got a lot of assassins in my face. We'll see what happens as we go on to turn 1 for the Tyranids. At the end of turn 1, secure objective 5, advance and Domination have been scored. Okay guys, so end of movement. Let's have a quick look what I've drawn for my objectives. So we have Blood and Guts, kill something in assault, overrun with firepower, kill something shooting, supremacy, take 3 objectives. We have got behind enemy lines, which is my priority orders, which is from a Warlord, which I will not get because that's a Malanthrope. Secure objective 6, which is this one here, I'm not going to get at the moment, and Master the Warp, so basically do some psychic powers, which is again hopefully pretty achievable. So we'll see what happens. So movement wise, the Hive Guard have backed out, they won't be able to shoot this turn, and the Broodlord has come through that gap to make sure that he can get in and do some damage, hopefully. The Rippers have hung out here behind that rack. The Rippers here have just kind of made sure that they are shielding the Malanthrope. Exocrine stayed still, he's going to try and pump some shots in. And then for the drops, down came the Swarm Lord, he's piled out of there, potentially using his ability. He's eyeing up that Knight as a potential first turn charge. And then over here, Mark's really deployed his assassins pretty smart. I wanted to kind of go in front of the Knights, but I'm having to go behind. So these guys have dropped down here. I've got a 9-inch charge on his Warlord, and I've got potential charges into his Knight as well. Same over here, 9-inch charge into there, and the Trigon again has a 9-inch charge into both targets. It's pretty much the same distance, so it's pretty good. And then the Gene Stealer same again. So I've got lots of options for lots of charges, potentially lots of Overwatch as well. But it's going to be interesting as we go into the Psychic phase and the shooting phase for the Tyranids. Okay, so shooting Psychic phase, not too effective. I did manage to get 2 Psychic powers up to get 1 of my powers. I smited the Assassin to take her down to just 1 wound. Hopefully the Broodlord will finish her off. And then we did Catalyst into the Swarm Lord, which was successful, but then I tried to Horror the Knight and I failed that. Used a command point, but the Assassin, what's her name? She's a Callous Assassin, so they've got a nasty little trick first turn where every time I use a command point, then the assassin gets a chance to roll on a 4+, and then I lose double points. So he's done that now a couple of times. I'm actually only down to 1 command point at the end of my first turn, which is not too good. To be honest, I really shouldn't have used him in this turn, but that's my fault and a mistake that I will learn from the future. So other than that, in the shooting phase, the Exocrine took 1 wound off this assassin, did really poor with the shooting, and now the Exocrine's probably in a bit of trouble, to be fair. and then the Swarm Lord uses his ability to jump over there to face the Knight. Now hopefully I get hot on the rolls there. I'm going to need him to take that Knight out. And these guys, some little shooting, did take 1 wound off this Knight from the Electro Spines from the Trigon Prime, but now the all-important turn, I need to make some crucial rolls. We need to get some salts in, and we need to start to do some damage. I must get this first strike. Right guys, so end of the turn, and pretty brutal. Not so good for the Tyranids, let's say, just a little bit. Everything pretty much went disastrously wrong. So let's start off with the most important thing. So the Swarm Lord, with his pretty much guarantee assault, did eat some serious overwatch, taking him down to just the 3 wounds when he hit combat. He then fluffed his combat and got killed in return by the Knight. That was slightly before slightly after the assassin struck into the Broodlord, took 1 wound off him, and the Broodlord then struck back and took him out for my first strike. So I'll take that. But over here, not very pretty. So we've got these 4 units, all within an 8 or a 9 inch, depending. So obviously 8 inches is always needed by the Trigons because of their adrenal glands. I put most of my charges into Greyfax, trying to go for Slay the Warlord. It's a crucial point, thought we'd go for that. Failed every single charge. Not only that, I rolled a 6 with one of my dice, so I decided to use my command point. You know, really good chance of getting that off and getting that crucial assault. I used the command point, but again, because it's the first turn of combat, but because the special rule was still in place from the assassin, even though she did die later, I used the command point, but because I only had 1 command point left, Mark rolled a 4 to make sure I cost an extra point. I had no extra point to charge, so that means that reroll could not be used. So in that way I failed again. So that was 4 failed charges. No charges into the Knight, which meant I didn't eat any Overwatch there, but the guys are definitely in trouble now. They're staring down the barrel of a gun, with the Swarm Lord down as well. That's a bit of a brutal strike. As far as points wise, we did score some points. We got the psychic powers off, so we got 2, not 3, so we got 1 point for that. And we also killed something, blood and guts, in assault, which was the Broodlord, and obviously first strike. So not exactly as we planned. I expect the X-Crime to be under some serious trouble now with 2 closing assassins and a Knight on his way, and it's not looking too great. I think that potentially will seal the deal with such a horrible turn for the Tyranids. But you never know, my luck might change and Marks might go downhill. So we'll now go into Assassins and Knights turn 2. So missions for turn 2 for the Knights. Apologies, it's getting pretty rowdy in here guys, hopefully you can hear me. So we've got Kingslayer, and obviously the other ones are already in place. So we've got behind enemy lines. The critical mission was a 6, which is where his Vindicator is already on. Overwhelming firepower and master the wall. So there should be some easy points there for marking this turn. Movement wise, Knights have kind of turned round, Greyfax has scooted up the top of the tower, and the Assassins are closing in on the Exocrine. So we'll see what happens now as we go into the shooting and the psychic phase for the Knights and the Assassins. So end of shooting, another pretty hot turn from the Knights and Assassins. Over here, the Assassin threw a melter bomb into the Exocrine, taking him down to just the 1 wound. The Knight tickled him a little bit as well, but failed to do any damage. But both the Knights over here unloading into the Trigon, killing him off, and a few of the Gene Stealers as well. So brutal stuff there, and rolling hot as well. Some shots from the far Knight into this Trigon Prime, taking him down to half wounds, so he is only on 6 wounds left. So the Assassins and Knights are really putting their foot down now. It's potentially going to be a brutal charge now. If he can make it in, he needs a 12-inch charge on his Knight. If he can get into the Gene Stealers, that's not going to be so good. But there we go. Also shooting, the Assassin here did manage to get a bead on the Broodlord, taking him down to just 2 wounds. And now we're going to the charges. So end of the assault phase, another pretty good turn for the knights and the assassins. So in came these guys, finished off the last wound from the Exocrine. Did not explode, which is a shame because he only got 2 wounds there, which has been quite nice. This guy did manage to get in between the two, so took some attacks on to the Malifrote, taking him down to 6 wounds. I took 1 back with the Toxic Miasma, but now I'm locked in there with the Malifrote. It'd be nice if I could take him out to try and get that preferred enemy, but unlikely. He doesn't really have a lot of friends around to try and support him. Rippers I can't see doing the job, and that was pretty much it. Failed charges over the back, and as far as that turn, Mark gets another bucket load of objectives, so he got overall firepower, behind enemy lines, and the tactical objective as well. So really good scoring turn for Mark, and we'll now go into Tyranid turn 2. So, end of the movement for the Tyranids. We've drawn another couple of cards. We've got Secure Objective 6, Defend Objective 6, and Defend Objective 4. Really not good cards for me. So 6 is over there, and 4 is over by the Knight. So we have got overwhelming firepower. Hopefully see if we can do something with that potentially. That's kind of pretty much all we can go with. Other than that, we're now into trying to do some damage. So this Brood Lord on 2 wounds left is going to try and see whether we can take that assassin out. And then over here, the Gene Stealers have advanced. They got quite a good roll. So does the Trigon. These Genes have got a massive roll on theirs and are chasing after the Warlord Greyfax who's up in that tower. So we'll see what we can do damage. Still pretty scared of this Overwatch, but you would be after you lost your Swarm Lord pretty much to them all. Over here, the Rippers have come round. We've only got just the 2 wounds on that guy, 5 wounds on that guy. We'll see whether we can potentially do some damage. It's looking pretty grim, guys, but we'll see what we can do. The other thing, the pods come around the corner. I'm going to try and soak up some Overwatch over here and see where we can do some damage as we go into the psychic phase and the shooting phase for the Tyranids. Right guys, end of shooting phase, not too bad. So the Hive Guard taking 3 wounds off the Knight there, not too bad. For that though, in the psychic phase, the Brood Lord did smite the Assassin, taking 3 wounds as well, so pretty good there. Not too bad at all. The pod didn't do any damage to the Knight, and the Trigon Prime also didn't do any damage to the Knight. We also tried to tickle this guy with some Spine Fist, no damage done as well. So we're now going to the assault phase. This is a pretty crucial one. We need to make some assaults this time round, or otherwise it is good night. So a slightly better turn for the Tyranids. It's still pretty much not much I can do with too many Knights looking too strong. But in the assault phase down here, I did manage to take another 2 wounds off this and took that one down as well, another couple of wounds, another wound. So we've got both assassins on 2 wounds left and the Malifrote on 2 wounds, not too bad. Over here the Brood Lord took out the other assassin, which was good. And then the big assault, where actually everything made it into assault. We made it into assault for his Warlord, and we took, how many wounds did I take off your Warlord? She's down to... She's got 3 left. She's got 3 left. And then we took a big chunk of wounds off the Knight, not enough to take him down to the next bit. The GCS could have rolled a bit hotter, but main thing is we're locking him up for now, and we'll see. I think the Trigon's now seen his last days. He's just down to 3 wounds, and that potentially will be a brutal strike back for Mark in this turn. He's well ahead on Maelstrom. I just need to really try and clear off the rest of these assassins and then maybe do a bit of hiding, but it's looking pretty grim. So we'll see what happens as we go into turn 3 for the Knights and the Assassins. Okay, so the movement phase for the Knights and the Assassins, we've got Defend Objective 4, no prisoners, and Secure Objective 3. The Knight that was in combat has come out of combat because he can, because he's Titanic. So unfortunately that means bad news, because he's going to come in and do some more stomping and stuff. So brutal stuff, and obviously I expect that Trigon to go down with just 3 wounds. This guy's come across, and then that's pretty much it. So Greyfax is stuck in there. This Knight's closing in with the Assassins down in the corner. So we'll go into the shooting and the psychic phase for the Assassins and the Knights. So shooting in turn 3 for the Knights and the Assassins, so this Knight over here pumped his shots and eventually killed off the pod, didn't explode. Then the Knight over here and this Knight all, first of all finished off the Trigon Prime, and then unloaded into Gene Stealers, taking out 8, just with 2 remaining. So that is where we are now. We're going to the assault phase and see what the Knights can do. Right guys, so we have decided to call it, but not before a slight moral victory for the Tyranids. We did take out Greyfax with the Gene Stealers, massive attacks, took her out, but in that last turn, lost obviously the Trigon, lost majority of the Gene Stealers, and over the far side, lost the Warlord in the form of the Malanthrope. So brutal stuff, really bad luck from the Tyranids, but a decent list. Performed really, really well. Had a great game. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please do like, comment and subscribe, and make sure you come back to watch our next battle report on Twisted Dice. But until next time, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.